because he is schizophrenic, saying he is perfectly qualified. Now, an official in South Africa is admitting mistakes happen, but also defends the interpreter, saying, somewhat bizarrely, there is no sign language standard in the country. Remember, this isn't just about signing, it's about security. How did this man get past there, get put so close to so many world leaders if in fact he is not an interpreter? David McKenzie is in South Africa joining us with more. He did the interview. Let's start with it, David. What did we learn?
Well, what we learned was this man says he's qualified. Tamsanqa Jamki was standing through all of those memorials with all those world leaders, including next to President Barack Obama, signing through that whole period. And then the scandal broke. Several experts here in South Africa saying that he wasn't signing anything, that it was all a fake, and that none of it made sense. We tracked down this man in the township of Soweto. We talked to him. He remains defiant, and he said perhaps it's because of his mental illness. Take a listen. What sort of disability do you have?
Me, I'm suffering from schizophrenic, which is controllable. I'm under a treatment positively in Stratford Hospital in Krugersdorp, right in South Africa. You can look at my portfolio. I've got my portfolio. It speaks itself from the event that I was doing in my country. My portfolio shows exactly that I've been a champion of what I've been doing.
Well, I kept on pushing him about that portfolio, as he called it, asking him, was he qualified, what qualifications he got, where he studied. He wouldn't answer any of that. He says he's part of a company that was contracted to this event, but when the government was put to the task for this question, they said that company's disappeared. Chris?
Right, David, we were reading that. It's the owners of the company, that they can't find them right now. That raises suspicion. The government saying, well, there's no real unified standard of how to vet someone or show whether or not they're a translator. That adds to the confusion. But then the main concern, of course, is security, David. What do we know about how carefully this man's background, if not his skill set, was vetted before he was put so close to so many world leaders, including the President of the United States?
Well, he said that he wasn't a security threat at all when I put that question to him. He said he's been next to South Africa's president for several years doing sign language interpretation. He said, well, through all those years, why didn't anyone bring up this issue? And if people want to charge him for some kind of crime, he says he's ready to be charged. But the question remains, as you put it well, Chris, how did he get so close to these world leaders, and how can such a big stage someone effectively sign rubbish, according to most experts? He said he remains defiant and he was doing his job, and if anyone says that he's not, they should come speak to him.
Well, certainly some answers needed here. There's going to have to be proof of this mental illness that will help validate his story. They're going to have to figure out how he was vetted, and then, of course, know something about his background to justify the decision that he's not a security threat. But thank you for providing some pieces to the puzzle, David. We'll have some more on this later on. Appreciate it, David McKenzie.